Hi guys, this is the Great and Powerful Zilla, and one of you asked for a video on the Midway, so I'm going to give you one. It ain't pretty, folks. It ain't pretty. Let's take a look at what you have available on the Midway, though, real quick. First of all, I have a 19-point captain on the Midway. I've gone with a speed fire build, okay? Survivability expert to help my aircraft armor. This is how you spec an aircraft carrier. You go straight down the attack line, then survivability expert, improved engines, improved engine boost, demolition expert, or superintendent. Either way, I find I get more mileage out of demolition expert on my carriers, but that's me. Your mileage may vary. Your play style might be a little bit different. Okay. Modules on the Midway. Upgrades, so to speak. Air groups modification. I've gone over this before. Why would you? No. Air groups modification. I use damage control. Some people like the aircraft engines mod. There's nothing wrong with that. If you like that, that's fine. I go with damage control. I'm old school. Forgive me. Torpedo bombers mod extends the attack time of torpedo bombers. It allows me to get into that dive and approach the target from further off. Not that it really matters at tier 10. You're going to get shot to pieces anyway. But you have your choice between torpedoes and attack aircraft, whichever you like. AA guns, you don't need them. You got fighters. You got a tremendous anti-aircraft as it is. I mean, heck, you're sitting at 86 without the captain skills and whatnot. And if you, with your fighters on top of that, you're well over 100. Secondary battery, again. Why? What were you thinking? Wargaming, come on. All right. You're just confusing people. Stop that. You could go damage control system too. But anything, guys, on any carrier, I don't care what nation it is, any carrier that you have, you got to get your health up on those planes because they're so squishy. So since torpedo bombers are what I mainly use, and believe me, they have nerfed it on the Midway. I've added health to my torpedo bombers. Dive bombers, you're going to get more damage with dive bombers, but the odds are they're not going to get there at tier 10. Trust me, you're going to see that. Yeah. So, we go with flight control mod 1. That increases the speed at which I can rotate airplanes in and out. And that becomes important as you get deplaned in tier 10 quite often. Concealment systems, you could if you wanted to. And then finally, air groups mod 2 increases the health point. Anything for the health of the airplanes, guys. Anything. Why? Yeah, never mind. Anyway, planes. These are the F-8F Bearcats. It was the fastest piston engine fighter in World War II, or produced during World War II. It didn't actually serve in World War II. I have equipped mine with Tiny Tim rockets. They hit real hard when they hit, and they usually start a fire. BTD destroyer. These are iconic. So you've got the same plane that does torpedo bombers and dive bombers. American dive bombers are high explosive dive bombers, so just a FYI. Oops, excuse me. All right, let's look at the bombs. They do 11,000 damage if they hit. There's 2 per plane, 3 planes per flight, so you're talking 6 bombs potentially to do those damage. So that's well over 60,000 damage in one bomb strike if they all hit. And I guarantee you they mostly will not hit. They can penetrate 67 millimeters of armor, so the deck plating's not going to do any battleships any good. So they are very good. But the problem is getting them there. And a 69% chance of causing a fire. Again, that's with the captain's skill. The torpedoes, they have nerfed these into oblivion. They can only do 4,000 max. That means on average you're doing 2,000 to 3,000. There's 2 per plane, 3 planes per flight, 6 torpedoes launched. The torpedoes do 40 knots and they have a 3.2 kilometer range. So, parameter wise, not bad. Damage wise, horrible. And the flood chance is like, forget it. They've nerfed that into oblivion too. The rockets, the high explosive rockets, the Tiny Tims do 5,400 rocket damage per rocket. You 3 rockets per plane, 3 planes per flight. 3 times 3 is 9. So you're having 9 rockets come down on the target at the same time. 9 times 5, 45,000 damage potential in one strike. You're not going to get that. You're just not. It's not going to happen. Okay? You might hit 1, 2, 3, but you'll never hit all 6. All 9. That's just not going to happen. So let's be realistic, guys. Be realistic. As far as flags and signals, I'm not flying any on mine. I don't really need to. It's tier 10. I could go with economic flags. That's always a good idea on a carrier. The anti-aircraft flags, right here. No, this one. Proceed with great caution. Continuous damage. And yeah, that could help me. Flooding flags definitely would have helped me in this upcoming game. But I didn't fly any. And again, at tier 10, mostly economic flags. Mostly. You get your free XP and whatnot. Because, you've got a 19-point captain, you got a tier 10 ship. A few little extra things here and there. Camouflage, this has got permaflage. On my tier 10s, I've always got permaflage on my ship. But, whatever you like. It depends. And the other flags are just decorations. Problems with the Midway. You're going up against anti-aircraft monsters. Just beasts. And you're always going in against the tier 10 carrier and sometimes a tier 8 carrier thrown in to boot. God have mercy on those guys. I feel sorry for them. And I've been them. So, your anti-aircraft is 86. You're going up against ships like the Salem, who has an anti-aircraft of 72. Now, that by itself doesn't sound bad until you think about it. And the Minotaur has 86. The Worcester has 86. So you're talking about these ships are together in a group, and you've got to try and get at them. You're going to lose a lot of planes. And I'm not a Unicom. So the game you're about to see is a typical game at tier 10 for most people. Your average and casual players. Not a good game for me. Not a good game. And we have some surprising results with the economy at the end of it, which I'm curious to figure out what happened. So take a look at this random battle. And at the end of it, we'll talk, okay? I'll narrate you through it. In the meantime, you guys enjoy the video. All right? Enjoy the game. Bye. All right, we're looking at the roster here, and I'm like, Lord have mercy. There's nothing on the other team that is not nuclear-powered death. It's just the Amagi is the only ship that does not present a tremendous threat. And those of you who have played Tier 8 carriers know the Amagi is a freaking anti-aircraft monster at that tier. So this is not going to be a pleasant experience, I can tell already. Okay, just based upon the roster of the team. A single Minotaur or a single Worcester can completely shut down a complete area of the map to carriers. You go there, you're not going to do anything. You get shot down. So the first thing I do is I bring up rocket planes. I start to move my carrier initially a little bit off, but I don't want to go too far. I just want to tuck behind an island. The idea is to make it so that if the enemy carrier decides to snipe, he's got to come around and come at me from the backside. He's not going to be able to torp me from the front. Okay? I'm not going to give him one side's going to be masked by an island. So I'm going to come up and I'm going to tuck in right behind that island right there. And bring in my fighters. I've got the Tiny Tim rockets equipped on. I'm not attacking.
Taking fire.
And this is a mistake a lot of players make is they go right in and start attacking. They're all grouped together. I go in there, I'm not coming out. You know, I mean, just it's that simple. So what I do is I spot. Now, what good does that do? Well, it gives me spots. And secondly, it helps my team understand where they're deployed, what's on what side. Now, that can change in 3 minutes, right? But there you start to see anti-aircraft come up, and I'm just going to pull these right back to the ship because they're all yellow. And it was like, what, 3 seconds? Pop, 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 pop. It's ridiculous. Wargaming needs to fix the anti-aircraft. It's too strong, way too strong. One ship should not hold all control over one area of the map. And they've got Minotaur, Salem, Alaska. Yeah, plus the Kerr first. The Yamato's only got a 55 anti-aircraft rating, but still. Now, I did spot that Yamato. And the other enemy team's starting to spread out a little bit. And what I noticed about the Yamato was he's all by himself. You see him there? He's over there by himself. He doesn't have any supporting fire that I can see. So he makes a tempting target, just a little bit too tempting for me to pass up on. Okay? So I'm going to come down the slot and try and squeeze in between these two anti-aircraft zones. If you look on the mini-map, look at the right, look at the left. You'll see two anti-aircraft zones. Okay? I'm not going anywhere near them. And then suddenly a wild Midway appears. Now that's his friend. That Yamato is under that Midway's air cover. But I'm going to commit to the dive. Now, with that skill, I can start this a lot earlier than other players. And I can come in and let it narrow down. And I'm going to drop. I'm going to give him some lead. But with American planes, you can get right up close and personal. And you can see my aircraft have basically disintegrated. An entire squadron is gone. Just gone. You know, as an aircraft carrier player, yes, you may have those games that you pull a rabbit out of the hat. For the most part, at Tier 10, this is what you got. And it's frustrating. You can't really do anything. Yeah, I got a torpedo hit. A torpedo hit for 3,000 when I know on a Shimakaze I'm hitting for 10, 12, 13,000 with a torpedo. What are you thinking, Wargaming? Come on now. I can't even get aircraft down onto the target. Then when I do hit, on a 97,000 health Yamato, what the hell do you think 3,000 does? That's not even a mosquito bite. That's not even a pinprick. The Yamato's like, what was that? Seriously. And you just watch my planes disintegrate there. That's where the Salem's fighters and the Carrier's fighters and the Minotaur. That Minotaur is going to become important as this game wears on. That Minotaur is dominating my airplanes. I can't get anywhere near CCAP. And my team has been begging me to spot CCAP. But every time I go close to it, I get shredded. I lose planes. And it's just a fact of life. That's the kind of thing that happens in these Tier 10 games. Okay? So, yeah, it's an issue. It's an issue that they have yet to address.
I need intelligence data.
Coffee. And as I've said before, Wargaming is damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. If they fix it so that carriers can function, then nobody else is going to be happy. If they fix it so that carriers cannot function, the aircraft carriers are going to be useless and might as well remove them from the game. You know, and yeah, you're going to get Unicoms like iChase and Nozoop and Jingles and, you know, Knots and whatnot, and that are going to have these fantastical games, and you're going to be like, wow, I want to play that carrier. You're not going to play that carrier. These guys play at a completely different level with zero ping. They've got all the bells and whistles. They've been doing this professionally. They know what they're doing, and they don't show you the games like this. They show you the games that are perfect. You know? Or like other people, they pick out someone else's game and show you that, which is fine. I have no problem with that. But don't advertise something like this to say, well, you can do it too. Bullshit. You can't do this. Look at me. I've been playing this game for a long time. I got over 10,000 battles, right? I've been playing carriers forever. I've been testing this since TST. It can't be done. The anti-aircraft is way too strong. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. Done. Now, there was nothing I could have done there. There was no evasive maneuver. There was no speed up, slow down. Nothing I could have done. The way they have the aircraft carriers, aircraft set up, if you're making a rocket run, you have an approach. Instead of a snapshot like it used to be, you have to approach the target on a set bearing. Same thing with torpedoes. You have to approach on a set bearing. You have to hold it. You have to let it narrow down. You're exposed for a very long time to that anti-aircraft fire. There's no snapshot. And some dive bombers are even worse. You're approaching straight on, bow onto the target. You got to hold it there for a very long period of time. You'll never get there. And look at this, my torpedo planes. That's that single Minotaur. One ship should not control the airspace in an entire region of the map. That just should not happen. Okay? So I'm coming down and watch. Puff, 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 puff.
Fighter airborne.
I'm trying to get torps off.
We're under attack.
You know, it just one plane left. Really? I mean, I'm not whining. I'm just saying this is the way it is. Look at it, guys. What else could I do? I'd like to give you tips and tricks, but at tier 10, what can I tell you? You're going to get your butt kicked. You're going to get your plane shredded. And occasionally you might get lucky. But you've got Salems, Woosters, Minotaurs, enemy aircraft carriers. All these cruisers have fighters. Look at this. Look at this. Just, there's nothing I can, there's no maneuver I can do there. There's no way out of that. Just no way. I'm deplaned, basically. I can't do anything.
Airborne.
So I get the Tiny Tim rockets up again. And I head south. And what I'm looking for are easy targets. I'm looking for one-shot kills. I'm looking for things like that. So I see the Alaska over there. He's only got a shred of health left. Just too much flak. Too much flak. I can't. Boom, 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 boom. Just too much. Okay. I see there's another cruiser over here. Another. What is that? Is that a Salem? That's a Salem or Alaska? One of the two. I'm going to come down. It's hard for me to see this little screen. I'm going to fire. I'm going to pick him off. Nope. Okay. Overshot. And there is a mechanic where if you're being shot at by any aircraft, the chance of hitting the target is much less. It has something to do with the variable there. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to back my carrier out of here because I see that we've lost C completely. Those two guys up north, they're doing their best, but God bless them, they're not going to be able to hold that. Okay? And the guys out west, who knows what they're doing. You know, so far so good, but, you know, this game is not going well. And to be fair to the enemy carrier, he's having just as hard a time. He's not having an easy time of it either. He's getting shredded as well. And it's just staggering. That, I mean, really, when players complain about CVs being useless, well, look at this game and tell me what utility I had for the team. I can't hit a target. I can't get close to it. I can spot, sure, great. But after that, what can I do to influence the battle? Not a whole lot, especially with these anti-aircraft monsters out there. There's just not a lot I can do. Okay? So, we'll bring up the rocket planes again. And a lot of this time, I'm spending looking at my planes saying, okay, are they coming off cooldown? Tips and tricks for this? I ain't really got a lot to tell you. I mean, you see that I have no chance of evasion. I have no chance of avoiding flak. The only chance I have of avoiding losing all my planes is to not attack at all. And players have by now figured out, hey, if we group together, they can't touch us. And, that's just pretty much true. That group of three right there. There is no chance I have of getting to those guys. Now, I'm going to break them up. I'm going to hit one. And I'm going to pick him off. And he's probably hella pissed. Oh, darn CV hit me. But look at what I got over here. I got an Iowa, Salem, Alaska, Minotaur.
Requesting support.
That is so much AA. There's just no way. And I don't care how much bob and weave I do. It's not going to help. Now, the Minotaur is taking his cheap shots at me. I don't know what it is about players. They see a CV and they're like, ooh, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Easy kill. CVs are not an easy kill. They're pretty tough. No, they're not going to win a gunfight with you, but they're pretty tough. It takes a while to take one down. Especially something like the Midway or the Hakuru. And I imagine when the British Tier 10 comes out, that's going to be just as tough. So they're kind of tanky. Again, they're not going to win any gunfights, but they're kind of tanky. But still, you don't want to sit there and take it. You want to move out of the way, which is what I'm doing. Okay? I'm moving down here, hoping that my team in the south remains intact and keeps that line, holds that line. If you look at the enemy aircraft on the screen, you will see that they're disappearing just as fast as mine were. And, they say, well, your team should be firing high explosives to knock down the aircraft. You know what? That is 10 tons of bullshit. I have never seen a ship, anti-aircraft ability, nerfed by getting hit by a high explosive. It may say it does. The tooltip may say it does. The rating may say it does. I'm telling you, flying against it, I've never seen it. They've put up just as much flak as if they've not taken any damage at all. That is 100%, 100% gold-plated bullshit on the part of wargaming. That does not happen. That does not happen. That Minotaur over there has been beaten halfway down by our team. Halfway. And he's still shooting down my planes like there's a hot knife through butter. That is a lie on the behalf of wargaming. That is a bold-faced lie. Look at it. That's the Minotaur. Half health. Really? I can complain all I want to. It's not going to change the fact that this happened. This happened. What are you going to do? Tips and tricks? I got nothing for you. In a game like this, which is typical, you're just not going to be able to avoid the flak. And you're going to get deplaned. Look at me. I'm sitting here all sad sack. I got literally no planes left. If I bring up less than 6, they're going to get shot down so fast. And I'm typing to my team saying, hey, look, that Minotaur has made it a no-fly zone. I can't move. I can't launch planes. I can't help. There's nothing I can do. I've only done 4,000 damage. Yeah, I'm taking some potential damage. I sank a ship. Whoop-de-doo. I sank a ship on no health left. I got hit. I got lucky, probably. Okay? So I'm taking up my torpedo bombers. And honestly, I've made 2 torpedo runs and actually launched torpedoes. I've made no bomb runs that dropped any bombs. I've made several attempts, but none of my bombers ever got through. I've made 3 rocket attacks, of which one actually hit a target and sank it. The other ones launched, did no damage, missed, what have you. So total, I have 4 missions, 4 flights went out that did damage. Everything else got shot down. everything. Everything else that I put up there got shot down, had no chance of doing anything. You want to talk about frustrating for a player? And look at this. They're already getting hit. The Minotaur's in freaking A-cap. He's in the A-cap. At launch planes, they're instantly under anti-aircraft fire. Look at this. And he's been taking damage. Chop, 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 chop. Done. Words fail me. Wargaming needs to desperately fix this. I don't care how much rage and bitching you get out of these damn players on the forums. You need to nerf AA hardcore. It needs to come way down. When an aircraft carrier at Tier 10 who has gone through the time, expense, and experience and cost of getting a Tier 10 carrier set up and playing it halfway decent cannot function at its tier, you have a problem. Up until now, the economy at Tier 8 and Tier 10 for carrier players has been a disaster, an unmitigated disaster. Regardless of what you have been able to do, you would lose credits. Period. So I launched some rockets here. They do hit. But, you know, dust on the shoulder. I mean, really, what did it do? 1,000 damage. Didn't do anything. It just a minor annoyance. And they're getting shot to pieces. Less so now because there aren't as many ships. But look at this. Chop, 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 chop.
Approaching target.
No chance. So you've been losing credits up until now. You can't do anything against your own tier unless you're very lucky or extraordinarily good. You can't afford to run the carriers because it costs so much money. You're frustrated because you're not able to do anything in the game. There's no amount of maneuvering, evasive, what have you, that you can do that will mitigate this damage. It's way, way out there strong. It's just impossibility. And again, you know, his aircraft carrier, God bless him, he's trying to go after me. He can't do anything. Because my aircraft carrier shoot down all his planes. So you've basically made it impossible to fly planes at Tier 10. So anyway, pardon me. Let's take a look at the post-battle results. We made 224,000 in defeat. In a random battle, lost 99 planes. We sank one ship and shot down 4 planes. What did we make? We made 13,900 credits. Normally you would lose credits. If I hadn't sank that ship, I would have. In a regular account, I would have lost 50,000 credits. In a game where I was trying, I was doing my best, I did paltry damage, I sank one ship. I shot down 4 planes. And look, his planes suffered just as much as mine did. And Tier 10 carriers, regardless of where they're at, are experiencing this across the board. This is ludicrous, and it needs to be fixed. Wargaming, this is not working. It's not working for aircraft carriers. I'm telling you right now, you have nerfed them into oblivion. There are a bunch of different suggestions that you could do to fix this, but right now, it's not. And guys, God bless you, I got nothing. There's no way to avoid the anti-aircraft. There's no tips, no tricks. There's little strategies you can do to help yourself along, but that's about it. So until next time, you guys be good to each other and have a great, great day. I'll talk to you next time.